If you told me you have achieved something massive on your first attempt, I would either think you are a statistical freak or you're just full of shit. Because in real life, success doesn't come from one shot, it comes after many failed attempts. So today I'll share something I learned in a workshop at the University of Oxford, the fail fast, fail cheap mindset. So grab your coffees, achievers, and get ready, because today we'll analyze how you can test your ideas faster and cheaper.
You are watching the Achievers Toolkit. Build a better you.
I would like to start by remembering a younger, much more naive version of myself, the pre-pandemic me. Back in 2019, I attended a short workshop at the University of Oxford. Beautiful place, by the way, incredible grounds, and unbelievable professors. The workshop was on design thinking, which is essentially the science behind innovation. How to prototype ideas, how to test them, and how to bring them to life efficiently. Now, I'm not bragging about going to Oxford at all. Back then, I could only afford this short course. A full degree there was absolutely out of reach for me at the time, I think, both financially and probably mentally as well, if I'm being honest. But that weekend really stuck with me, because it gave me a framework, a way of thinking about success that doesn't destroy my time, my energy, or my bank account every time I attempt a new project. And that philosophy is simple: fail fast and fail cheap. I actually kept a booklet from that workshop. It's full of really good insights, but in this video I want to share these two core concepts. And they apply to business, to creating art, to changing careers, or just try something new in your life. Doesn't matter what. Now, a little disclaimer, these two concepts, they won't guarantee success, okay? But they can give you some competitive edge. A kind of a shortcut, if there is such a thing. So let's get into it. Concept number 1. Fail fast. Keep this in mind, most businesses fail within the first 5 years. And that's a reality. I'm not making any of this up. So imagine this, you are 30 years old and you try 4 different business ideas and each one follows that typical pattern. That's 20 years gone. Now you're 50 and financially maybe you have nothing to show for it. You have the experience, of course, and that matters. The pain, the frustration, the failure, those are really powerful teachers. But let's be honest, we don't want to spend decades failing slowly and going bankrupt. So I've been there myself. I've invested 6, 7, 10 years into something that didn't go anywhere. And looking back, the problem wasn't just the idea, it was that I didn't know when to stop. I didn't know how to test things early, and I went all in way too soon. And that's where this concept comes to the rescue. Fail fast means testing your idea as quickly as possible, almost like you're trying to break it, almost like you're pushing it hard to see if it crumbles. Let me give you a real example. When I started my first audiovisual company in my late 20s, I went all in. I tried to do it full time, I bought the equipment, I put some money, energy, everything. And a couple of years after, I had to admit it was a complete financial failure. So what could I have done instead? Maybe run some marketing, get a few clients, see if there's any real demand. Ask one simple question: is there signal or just noise? Instead, of course, I got excited, I tried to scale way too early, and it didn't completely fail. I did make a little bit of money, but it was negligible. It never really worked, financially speaking. If I could go back, I would run a 3-month test. I would push it hard, run some ads, and then measure the results. If all I got was 2 phone calls and 1 cheap project, then maybe it's time to redesign the offer or just walk away. That's exactly what I mean by failing fast, and that could have saved me years of hassle and frustration. Concept number 2. Fail cheap. This one is just as important, because even if you fail fast, if you're spending a little fortune or a big fortune every time, you will still lose big. And I've seen this a lot, people burning thousands or sometimes tens of thousands or more on ideas that haven't even been tested. Let me give you a simple example. Let's go very small. Hobbies. We all know someone who decided to pick up golf or tennis or guitar. They get excited, they buy everything, like top tier equipment, the clothes, the lessons, the memberships, hundreds, sometimes thousands spent. and 2 months later they quit. Now all that gear ends up in the closet or in a second-hand shop selling for peanuts. What could you do instead? Well, you could prototype, you could start small. You want to learn guitar, just get a cheap one, buy a second-hand guitar, or even borrow one until you know if it's something you would like to do long term. Do you want to try golf? Well, don't buy the full set. Get 1 or 2 clubs, maybe one, and test the interest first. And something similar, a similar concept applies to business. Before building the full product, test the idea by building the cheapest prototype possible of your product or service, and if it ends up flopping, at least you didn't flush your whole life savings down the toilet. Both philosophies, failing cheap and failing fast, they have the same goal, which is to make sure you lose small before you can win big. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video, Achievers. Do you have any juicy stories of a time maybe where you failed expensively, massively, long term? Let me know in the comments. If you like these type of topics, you can also get my book, Tackle the Hassle. I'm giving away chapter 1 on my website, or you can just get yourself a copy on Amazon. I talk a lot about design thinking applied to everyday life, so if you like this video, you will probably like the book. But I know, enough with the self-promotion, enough. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.